Hello again, welcome to the midweek edition of Business Live. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, pension institutions advised to evolve and meet growing worker demands.
Our pension institutions must therefore evolve. They must meet workers where they are, on their phones, digital platforms, and across virtual spaces.
Also in this bulletin, Joy Business Review of 2025 major economic issues come off tomorrow at 9 a.m. and we shall be telling you what more to expect. Plus, from factory floor to kitchen staple, we'll tell you how Rose aluminium cookware is made on today's episode of the Joy Business Van. We have details of these, including the breaking story coming through, which of course has to do with the IMF board approving Ghana's fifth review program. We have details of this and more lined up for you. Please stay on. Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojo Baka, and looking at our stories. Deputy Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Mohammed Adams Paru, says pension institutions must adapt to changing work partners and patterns and embrace digital solutions to better serve workers. He made the call at the launch of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust Virtual Branch, an initiative aimed at improving access to pension services through digital platforms. More in this report.
Speaking at the launch, Deputy Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations, Mohammed Adams Paru, called on pension institutions to adopt the evolving work trend and the growing digital expectation of workers.
Of work is changing rapidly. Today, more than ever, a significant portion of Ghana's workforce participate in the gig economy, working remotely, freelancing online, and earning across multiple platforms. Over the next few years, these digitally influent mobile young professionals will constitute a major part of our national pension contributors. Our pension institutions must therefore evolve. They must meet workers where they are, on their phones, digital platforms, and across virtual spaces.
Director General of SNET, Kwesi Afrebain, says the move aligns with the national effort to promote digital transformation and improve public service delivery.
There is a heart and care behind what we are doing. So at each step, the technical team is reviewing, bringing new features and improving on our service delivery. And that's why we are certain that this is the way to go and this will be a game changer in terms of your interactions with SNET. We believe that ultimately currently you have over 90% of people who interact with us still seeking to do physical interactions with us. We believe that over time, within the next 1 year, we seek to shift that focus into digital channels, the virtual branch, and the co-location arrangements that we are putting in place.
The virtual branch is expected to ease access to pension services and support Ghana's push towards digital inclusion.
Now, the Joy Business Review of 2025 major economic issues will come off tomorrow, December 18. Now, the review will start at 9 a.m. and will be live on the Joy News channel, Joy FM, and all social media platforms. The following report has more details.
The panel will include CEO of Dalex Finance, Joe Jackson, Senior Partner at AB and David Africa, David Ofosudote, and Director of Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy, Professor Peter Korte. The program will be hosted by the head of Joy Business, Winston Amoa. Some of the major business news items for the year that will be reviewed are the appointment of Dr. Johnson Esiama as BOG Governor and the appointment of Dr. Atufosing as Finance Minister, among others. The discussion will also look at some major policies presented by government in its major budget and how the policies have impacted businesses and households.
And don't forget to join us tomorrow for the year under review as Winston Amoa discusses topical economic and business issues this year. It will be live on the Joy News channel, Joy FM, and all social media platforms. Do make a date. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority says the world of taxation continues to evolve through digitalization, global standards, and increasingly complex business models, making the expertise of tax officers critical to effective and fair tax administration. Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Sapong, said professional skills remain crucial to mobilizing the required revenue for national development. He disclosed this at the 2025 Professional Course in Taxation graduation ceremony held in Tema. Kwame Yanka reports.
The 2025 Professional Course in Taxation, organized by the Technical Training Unit of the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of Ghana Revenue Authority, provided critical technical capacity building for about 300 staff. Following 6 months of intensive training, combining classroom instruction and practical intensive sessions, 289 participants successfully graduated from the program. Participants were trained in key areas including income taxation, value-added tax, excise taxation, communication service tax, tax accounting, tax audit, and the principles of tax law, among other core disciplines. The cohort successfully completed the basic and intermediate levels, reinforcing the program's role in building professional competence, operational efficiency, and integrity in tax administration. Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Anthony Kwesi Sapong, says the authority will continue to invest in human capacity.
Transformation is a journey, and it's a journey that we believe will help us to increase revenue mobilization and also build the capacity of our people. So these two go hand in hand. So a lot of activities have taken place. One of them is what we are witnessing today, that are bringing back the graduate course that will equip our people. We are also investing in a number of our tools, and as you can also see from the budget that was read by the minister, a number of operational tools that we are investing in to ensure that we invest in our people, we invest in technology, we invest in process, so that together we will build a GRA that is fit for purpose today and for the future, and that also ensures that its mandate of revenue mobilization is done in a manner that's effective and efficient for our national development.
Commissioner, Domestic Tax Revenue Division of GRA, Dr. Martin Kobio Yamborigia, encouraged staff to work hard to help meet targets for the year, and revealed that the professional course in taxation is now a requirement.
The amendment have resolved that henceforth, before anybody can be assigned to work in any selected or strategically important unit or department of the domestic tax, will give priority to those who have been given training. That is to say that you will not be considered for certain assignment if you have not had the opportunity to be trained in this important course.
Meanwhile, Deputy Commissioner, Training and Development, Augustine Sifa Ejay, mentioned that the General Competency Development Program, launched in September this year, has trained over 1,500 officers.
The program, which was launched in September this year, has so far trained 1,593 assistant revenue officers, and CG and Commissioner SSD have already given the go-ahead for the continuation of the program until all the senior officers, over 4,000 of them, are trained. The introduction of this program indeed is a commendable feat, especially as it has, to a significant extent, strengthen cross-divisional relationships, advancing one GRA agenda, as selection of the officers for the program cuts across all divisions.
Assistant Commissioner, Domestic Tax Revenue Division Technical Unit, Lawrence Hochonyame Esquire, highlighted the need for more training as significant workforce of the division is yet to benefit from the training. Esther Mills emerged as the overall best student for the 6 months training.
And to that breaking story I mentioned earlier in my headlines, well, the news is that the International Monetary Fund Board has approved Ghana's fifth review program. And my colleague George Yafi joins me in studio to tell us more about it. George, first off, when did this happen?
Well, this is just a while ago in Washington, D.C., when the Executive Board actually met to review the staff report of several countries. And Ghana was one of the countries that was scheduled today to look at in terms of we passing the staff level agreement in October this year. And the staff, they've put together their report in terms of how the Ghana has fared under the program for the year under review being half of this year. So there were certain critical things that the fund was looking out for. And it appears that government has made some critical progress on those key targets and benchmark. And when that report was submitted to the board, they passed the staff report, meaning that we could be eligible to more than $300 million that should hit Bank of Ghana's account in the coming days. Doesn't mean that we had met everything, but in terms of those key targets and benchmark, we have met a significant number of them. That's why the board did pass Ghana on this fifth review.
Even before we come to what this really means to Ghana's economy, when are we expected to see the monies?
I mean, we can as independently confirm the exact date, but often it could take maximum maybe a week. And if you take away the holidays, it could take about a week or something that the money should hit Bank of Ghana's account. But for a lot of people who have been monitoring this program, it's not about the money. It's about the signal that this will send to the international community that the steps that government is undertaking to try and stabilize the economy and implement those critical reforms that the fund has been pushing over the years. So that signal, again, would then more of enhance some investment in the country as well. Don't forget that this will trigger other inflows from the World Bank and other donor partners as well. And that is the more critical thing than just that $330 million that will hit, or $380 million that should hit Bank of Ghana's account in the coming days. But it's about the signals that will send to the donor partners and also the institutional investors that government is on track in implementing those critical reforms to try and stabilize the economy.
And I know, like you mentioned, we'll be speaking to an economist pretty soon, and maybe in subsequent bulletins, but largely this would have an impact on the economy. In a minute, what do you think this will...
When we're looking at the studio as well, you're seeing some subtle pressure on the studio as well. Sometimes perception also fuels these demand as well. So if these investors are indeed assured that going forward, the managers are on track in trying to stabilize the economy, that could also impact on what they call market sentiment as well.
Indeed. Thank you very much, George, for speaking to us and bringing that news to us here on Business Live. So the news is that the International Monetary Fund Board has approved Ghana's fifth review program, meaning subsequently we should see more than $300 million hit our accounts following that review program. We shall bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. You're still watching Business Live. Let's pause for the Joy Business Van after this break. Again, welcome back to Business Live. Let's now take the Joy Business Van. From the hands that mold the metal to the quality checks that ensure perfection, Rose Aluminium is not only a producer of high-quality cookware, but a cornerstone of local industry, blending tradition with innovation. In today's Joy Business Van feature, we take you inside the factory to witness the meticulous process that turns aluminium into trusted cookware and meet the dedicated team behind every pot and pan.
Inside Rose Aluminum's factory, craftsmanship meets precision. Every pot begins its journey here, shaped by skilled hands, guided by experience, and refined through a process perfected over time.
From our utensils to our basins to our trays, our frying pans, all the things you see in your kitchen, like for your cooking convenience, is produced right here at Rose Aluminum Company Limited.
The process starts with carefully selected aluminum, melted at high temperatures, and poured into molds designed to ensure strength, balance, and durability. Berima Osebonso is Executive Director of Rose Aluminum Company Limited, founded by his mother, Vivian Sewedu, in 1993. It's one of the oldest and leading aluminum companies in the West African sub-region, manufacturing premium hollowware from aluminum circles or discs.
So I joined the company in the year 2017, right after my master's program with Warwick. I've been here by the grace of God for the last 8 years. I joined very young, Before I was very sure I was going to work because my dad is in banking. My dad was in banking, he used to work in banking until he went to retirement. He dealt, worked with finance and accounting. So when I was in uni, I took internships, around those areas, and I thought I enjoyed it, but I realized that it was boring for me. So my last year of uni, I think I graduated in 2016, so 2015, I took an internship and was very surprised where I worked. So I worked in a factory, like in the UK, like a summer job, where they produce, different kinds of food. When I saw the trucks move, and I just saw the process from raw material to finished good, something that it sparked something in me. Seeing the trucks move, seeing the items being produced, it was something that really spoke to me, at that point. And I'm like, if I'm going to work in manufacturing, I actually have something like this back home.
Berima headed back home to touch base with the business, convinced upon reflection it was a space he wanted to explore.
So I touched down on the 8th of October 2017. 9th of October 2017, I reported, for work. I didn't even know where to start from, but I remember my mom telling me that if you indeed have the passion for the business, you know where to start from, So we started touching base with different parts of the business, production, finance here and there. And so we're here today.
Ghana's aluminum industry has become a key part of the country's manufacturing sector, producing products like cookware, roofing materials, and automotive parts.
Aluminium is a very interesting metal. I think I'll start from there. And I tell people that when I have conversations that I feel like it's more valuable than gold. I'll choose aluminium any day over gold because gold is ostentatious. Gold is just, it's very nice, very catchy. Yes, of course, it's more expensive than aluminium, but if any country looking to develop, as a country, the focus for me should be aluminium. Because aluminium is used for development. It's used for your roads, like construction. When you talk about like construction of buildings and high-rise buildings and things like that, when you talk about like fabrication of cars, fabrication of aircraft, it's used for so many things. Like that's the method that we deal with.
Companies such as Rose Aluminum lead the way in combining traditional craftsmanship with modern techniques, meeting growing local demand. With access to bauxite, the industry supports economic growth, job creation, and reduces reliance on imports, strengthening Ghana's industrial base.
There's no doubt when it comes to the demand of utensils, because households are forming every day. People are eating and cooking every day, So the demand is there, there's no doubt. And the sub-region, Ghana is one of the major players in this industry. So we have a lot of people, around the sub-region who come, patronize our products. We engage in exports, directly and indirectly, as a company. But so as for demand, it's not in doubt.
Quality control is not an afterthought. Each utensil is inspected, polished, and tested to meet the company's standards before it reaches the market.
Over the period, over the last couple of years, there's been a proliferation of very inferior, utensils. That is, it's obviously affecting, our markets, and affecting our supply because these are sold for cheap. But I feel like when it comes to utensils, it shouldn't be something that, when it comes to quality, shouldn't be compromised because it's something that people are going to ingest, are going to eat, So there's a proliferation of very cheap, utensils on the market, very high lead content. But I feel like even in that case, there's still very good demand.
From this factory, products travel across Ghana to homes, markets, chop bars, and hotels, reinforcing the value of locally made solutions in a growing economy. Rose Aluminum's products are also found outside the country in Niger, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Togo, Benin, and Mali.
I want to transcend, or move from just the downstream to as high as I can go, upstream, basically backward integrate as much as I can, even to mining of bauxite, who knows.
Next time, we hear more about Berima's vision for Rose Aluminum Company Limited.